with just over 3 weeks until Election Day, the race for the White House is starting to tighten.
Both national and swing state polls show a razor-thin margin between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump. Joining us this morning, political science professor Dr. Chris Cooper from Western Carolina University about some of the countdown, some of the steps with 22 days left. Chris, always a pleasure to see you. We want to start with, we haven't talked to you since Helene. We know it certainly put a lot of people up there in Western North Carolina in the dark, including you and students at Western Carolina. How are you guys today?
We're hanging in. Jackson County came out comparatively well, but obviously there are parts of this region that are absolutely devastated. I have family members that have had to relocate to South Carolina, so it's going to be a long road back for a lot of these counties.
And Dr. Cooper, we'll go ahead and turn to all the relief efforts for Helene and Milton. They've become center stage with the presidential race. How much will this play into the politics leading up to the general election?
I mean, look, it's certainly going to matter. We're a purple state, we're a swing state, we're a battleground state, whatever moniker you want to put on it. It's a state where margins are going to matter. And now we know that the margins may change slightly. So the election administration piece, obviously highlighted really well by the previous segment y'all had. We're going to see some changes to try to make sure that everybody can still, all eligible voters can still have their votes cast and counted. But then you got the partisan implications, right? This is a region that tends to lean towards the Republican Party. Of the 13 most affected counties, last election they went 55 for Trump, 45% for Biden. So if turnout's down across the board, you might think it's actually a little bit worse for Donald Trump than it might be for Kamala Harris.
Do you think there could even be, Will and I were talking about this earlier, Chris, if there's an issue trying to get those last minute maybe absentee ballots or some of those ballots counted with the Western North Carolina issues, that it could be delayed, could be Wednesday, even Thursday before some of those every little votes count, before those votes are counted?
I think certainly it's possible. Right now, they have to be, every ballot has to be received still by election day, right? So even the mail-in ballots, even in these affected counties. But I think we all need to remember, until canvass is over, absolutely nothing is official. So if we try to figure out, exactly who's up, who's down, who won, who lost, we're all going to engage in that conversation on election night. But until the canvass is completed, it's all really just informed speculation, not the fact.
Now, we know both campaigns are going to be stopping in the Carolinas this week. Will the focus remain on recovery efforts, or do they get back to the topics they've been talking about, like reproductive rights, the economy, and everything else?
My guess is they're going to shoehorn some of these recovery efforts into their previously, kind of created stump speeches. I think we're already seeing that. Y'all had some nice highlights from Kamala Harris and from Donald Trump talking about other issues. So I think they will talk briefly about recovery efforts, and then they're going to go back to their talking points, back to their stump speeches. It's going to be pretty similar for what you see in Michigan, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Colorado, wherever they happen to go.
Chris, we know that there's only like 4% of those undecideds. Let's see, over the weekend, yesterday, CBS News and a YouGov poll, Harris is ahead by 3 percentage points, 51 to 48%. You got this really small, as we said, razor-thin margin. Those undecideds in the next 3 weeks, what are they waiting to hear from Harris or Trump to say that you think would lock in their vote?
It's tough, right? And look, most of them don't get a lot of political information. The kinds of people that are, undecided at this moment are probably not watching this newscast. They're probably not reading the local newspaper. They're probably not engaging in politics. So it's difficult to know what they might actually be waiting to hear. So we have those voters. Then, of course, we have the ones who might or might not show up. So let's say you love Trump, or you say you love Harris. But are you actually going to show up and cast that vote? So the election's going to be determined in North Carolina and nationally by the 4%, like you said, of undecideds, and then maybe, 5 to 10% of folks who might show up, might not.
And Chris, we just want to go real quick down the ballot. And I know that the governor's race, there hasn't been a lot about Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson lately, but when you look at the other races, Attorney General, some state reps, they are saying everything connecting other candidates to Robinson. If you've had a picture with him or you've done anything, it seems like they are trying to connect that. Is that the game plan now for Democrats leading up to the general?
It's absolutely going to be the game plan for Democrats leading up to the general, right? We thought that the North County gubernatorial race would be the most competitive in the country. That conclusion has been, sort of thrown on its face in the last few days, really the last few weeks. And so, yeah, I think the Democratic Party is, if you have taken a photo with Mark Robinson, if you've appeared in the same zip code as Mark Robinson and there's a picture of it, the Democrats are going to try to highlight it.
I wonder, the minute some of that speculative information came out a couple weeks ago from CNN accusing Mark Robinson of potential behavior, I wonder how many people were trying to delete their history on social media over the years just to try to distance themselves from what could be. We will certainly have to see how all that shakes out. Chris Cooper, always a pleasure from Western Carolina University. We wish you well, and we'll be staying in touch. 3 weeks to go. That means another couple times we have to talk to you before Election Day.